Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Need a hammer.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Hi, good morning, everyone. All right, good morning. I would like to call the meeting of the Committee of Council to order. I really was joking, but okay. I'll call today's meeting of Committee on Council to order. I am Isha Collins, and I'm honored to serve as your chair, and I am joined by my fellow committee members. To my right is our Vice Chair, Liliana Bakhtiari, Councilman Howard Shook, and to my left is Councilman Byron Amos. Thank you all so much for joining us. I would like to make a motion to adopt today's agenda. Okay, it has been seconded by Vice Chair Bakhtiari. We will now open the vote.
Vote is open.
I'll call today's meeting of Committee on Council to order. I'm Isha Collins, and I'm honored.
Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The agenda has been adopted.
To my right is thank you so much. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from our May 5th, 2025 meeting. Is there a second? Okay, it's been seconded by Vice Chair Bakhtiari. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open.
Seconded by Vice Chair Bakhtiari. We will now open the vote.
Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The minutes have been approved.
Great, thank you. And next, I would like to make a motion to adopt today's full council agenda. Do I have a second? Okay, it's been properly seconded by Councilman Byron Amos. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open.
Thank you. 2025 meeting.
Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The full council agenda has been adopted. Vote is
Yes, and so this brings us to our public comment portion of today's agenda. Today, we do not have any speakers that have signed up for public comment, and so now I will move on to the next agenda item. I will now turn it over to Mr. Overton.
Madam Chair, this brings us to our communications. If there are no objections, may we take items 1 through 5 together. Vote is closed. 5.
All right, are there any objections to us taking items 1 through 5 on today's agenda together? Portion of today's agenda. All right, hearing no objections, Mr. Overton, you can proceed.
Perfect. Item number 1, 25C0050, a communication from Kate Kirkpatrick, President and CEO of the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, submitting the appointment of
Mr. Overton.
to serve as a member of the governing board of the Office of Inspector General. This appointment is for a term of 3 years.
All right, are there any objections?
Item number 2, 25C0057, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Mr. Ricky Smith to serve as the Aviation General Manager for the City of Atlanta. Item number 1. Item number 3, 25C0058, a communication from Council members Liliana Bakhtiari, District 5, Alex Swan, District 6, and Matt Westmoreland, Post 2 at large, reappointing Miss Roseanne Maltese to serve as a member of the Water and Sewer Appeals Board. This appointment is for a term of 2 years to begin retroactively on March 4th, 2025, and expire March 3rd, 2027. Item number 4, 25C0059, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Mr. James Greg Early to serve as a member of the Department of Watershed Management for the City of Atlanta. Item number 5, 25C0062, a communication from Mayor Andre Dickens appointing Mr. Byron Gibbs to serve as a member of the License Review Board. This appointment is for a term of 2 years, 2025, and expire March 3rd, 2027.
right.
Madam Chair, all appointments come favorable from their committee's purview. Communication from Mayor
Great.
Andre.
I would make a motion to approve these appointments. Do we have a second?
For the City of Atlanta.
It has been seconded by Councilman Byron Amos. We will now open it for a vote.
062, a communication from Mayor. Vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The items are favorable.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much.
Madam Chair, that brings us to communications and resolutions. If there are no objections, can we take items 6 and 7 together?
All right, are there any objections to us taking items 6 and 7 together under our resolutions? Hearing none, we will now proceed, Mr.
All
Overton.
right, item number 6, 25R3493. A resolution by Finance Exec Committee to reappoint Mr. Donald Panovi to the City of Atlanta Audit Committee as one of the 3 at-large members appointed by the entire City Council, said term to begin upon approval of this resolution and for other purposes. And item number 7, 25R3494, a resolution by Finance Executive Committee to appoint Mr. Charles Bell to the City of Atlanta Audit Committee as one of the 3 at-large members appointed by the entire City Council, said term to begin upon approval of this resolution and for other purposes.
Great, thank you. I'll now make a motion to approve these 2 resolutions. It's been properly seconded by Vice Chair Batiari. We will now open it for a vote.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The items are favorable. That brings us to our consent agenda, starting with ordinances for first reading. Item number 8, 25O1291, an ordinance by Committee on Council to amend Part 2, Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City of Atlanta Code of Ordinances to add a new section 2-106 to codify procedures for the City Council when meeting as the Committee of the Whole and for other purposes. This brings us to our resolutions, starting with item number 9, 25R3502, a resolution by Committee on Council requesting that all legislation creating a board, authority, commission, committee, or other similar body include specific core information to promote transparency, accountability, and engagement, and for other purposes.
All right, great. Thank you. Just wanted to make a note for the ordinance for first reading. No action is done today, but also wanting to make sure that the committee reads through the proposed legislation, since it is adding a new section to it is adding a new section to this portion of our procedures, particularly as a parliamentary mechanism. So we will have more conversation on this proposed legislation at our next Committee on Council meeting. I want to see if there was any questions, thoughts, or feedback so far. Okay, great. Yep. And then second, for our resolution, just wanted to give, this is a resolution designing a more checklist process for us to manage our board, authority, commissions, and committees, also known as BASE. As you all know, we have approximately about 141 boards, committees, commissions, authorities, appointments that come underneath this committee. And so we wanted to make sure we just created a process that enhances transparency, accountability, and public engagement so that our citizens will know not only the base entity that is active, but who's also serving, since we are asking the citizens of Atlanta to help us move this work forward. And so with that, I would like to make a motion to approve this resolution. Okay.
Second.
It's been seconded by Vice Chair Batiari.
Vote is open. Vote is closed. 4 yeas, 0 nays. The item is favorable. Madam Chair, that does conclude our legislative agenda, but we do have a presentation today.
Yes. Yep. So I will now bring up Mrs. Kempson Wright, our Council Chief of Staff, who will make a presentation on where we are with Channel 26 broadcasting upgrades and a few other updates. You now have the floor, Ms. Kempson Wright.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair Collins and members of council. This is just a brief update on where we are and the progress that's been made with the ATL 26 broadcasting upgrades. The Larry M. Dingle Committee Room, which you are seated in right now, was completed in March 2025. Committee Room 2 is scheduled for completion in mid-July 2025, perhaps August. And Marvin S. Arrington Senior Council Chamber was completed yesterday, May 18th, 2025. We were originally scheduled to be back in this space on April the 19th, but of course, due to discovered ceiling leaks, there was a slight delay. However, we were successfully able to complete meetings in the San Marcel Council Chamber for April 19th and May 5th. The first 4 days of budget hearings. It's my understanding that we successfully conducted meetings in that space, and that you all had not held a meeting in the council chamber since 1988. So kudos to you all. Marvin S. Arrington Senior Council Chamber updates. The upgrade includes a new audio system. You'll notice new microphones and speakers. Those are the same that you all have where you're seated now is essentially the same, the microphones. There are LED monitors, a new Crest Run system, which will allow users friendly control of audio, and that is managed by our IT team, as well as just the IT team, essentially. But it allows them to control audio, monitors, and lighting. You'll also notice that Comcast Channel 26 is available in chamber. It is not available here yet. We hope to have it here by the end of the project. So that will be sometime July, August. The podium is strategically placed there for lighting, as is this one, and audio purposes. We have 2 wireless microphones that are located at the council IT staff desk, our presentation computer, for anyone that needs to address the audience in a different way. We tested this morning. The presentation or the public podium microphone is supposed to be muted only from the president's seats and Crest Run. However, we did notice that this morning, just a little test, Council President pressed mute at his seat, and the individual was able to unmute the button from the public podium. So the contractor is here with us this morning, actually sitting in the audience, as well as ATL 26, and they're aware of that. The microphones are the same as they are now. Green is on, red is off. The lights are bright. Several of you all have already entered the space as they've been doing renovations. If you have not been in there yet, you will notice they are bright. We are making sure that there will be adjustments. They are balanced for broadcast, so please keep that in mind. Room lights are still present for users who want minimal lighting or when the room isn't in use, but the studio lighting will be adjusted. You have to understand, chamber has been poorly lit for several years, so it is an adjustment, and we are going to take everyone's concerns into consideration. But we also want to ensure that you all are showcased at your best, a polished and professional on-air presence. Okay. Upgrades in this particular space. The Clark team has been working with ATL 26 to ensure that all issues will be resolved by May 30th. They have installed 4 additional speakers in the back of the room. There were concerns that the public was not able to hear you all. And so I'm not sure if you all can tell the difference, but I definitely can tell the difference sitting in the audience. The distortion and feedback issues, Clark attributes that to feedback and poor quality and the design and a mistake in the wiring of the speakers and the public podium, but they are working to address those issues. You will notice a difference on the live stream versus Comcast Channel 26. So if you're looking at your television in your office or your suite or wherever, there is a slight differentiation versus looking at it live stream online. And the reason for that is because the Comcast channel is shown in SD standard definition. So you may notice looking at Comcast, I've called before and I'm like, Natasha, a portion of the screen is missing, or I can't see the entire presentation. If someone's looking at this now on Channel 26, the screen may be slightly cut off, versus if you're looking at it on live stream, you see the entire space in the entire room. And lastly, I want to just give some thank yous, and we will open it up for questions. But of course, City Council IT support, our incredible team, Arnold Scott and Latoya Joseph, the Mayor's Office of Communications, led by Chief Allison Fouché, Ms. Natasha Lee, Ms. Sharice Sino, Jay Pounds, Juan Yayez, Kenny Price, Jackie Simmons, Christian Harris, the AIM, our Atlanta Information Management, Ciao Sankey with Benita Joseph, Anthony Pines, Tommy Adams, Brandon Courtney, Venus Huff, Carnell Smith, and last but not least, the Department of Enterprise Asset Management, led by Commissioner Davis, Mr. Russell, Billy Russell, Vince Williams, Joe Sims, Sean Blackmore, Thomas Lowe, Ms. Siobhan Paintley George, and Carcel Johnson. I am joined again by members of Clark, who is the contractor for this particular project, as well as ATL 26, if you all have any specific questions. I know you all have had a lot of feedback, not necessarily you all that are seated here, but many of the body has had a lot of feedback.
Yes. Any question, Mr. Shook?
Okay, I want to thank all the people you just mentioned. I mean, it really did take a village to be able to pull that off. I know people worked really hard. How much did it cost, and what was the funding source?
Oh, that's a hard one. I don't want to guess. I do know that, and I'm going to ask Miss Natasha Lee, the Director of Programming and ATL 26, to come up and join me. If I'm correct, the very first, it was about $12,000 for audiovisual. That was for the April 19th meeting. It was a little bit more because the May 5th meeting, we also had 3 days of budget hearings after that. But I'll let Ms. Lee speak.
Hi, good morning. Natasha Lee, Director of ATL 26. I don't want to guess either off the top of my head because we have the numbers written down, but for the April 21st council meeting, it was a little over $12,000. And then for the May meetings, including budget briefings up until the 15th, it was a little over $17,000. And that includes setup, cabling, labor, audiovisual.
Is that per day, per event?
No, that was total.
And it's aggregate?
That was total.
All right, that's a lot better than what I would have thought. And what was the funding source, or was it multiple? Or
I'm sorry?
what was the funding source or
was
sources?
MOC, and I believe council too, right? You guys contributed half. It was split.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
No, thank you all. Thank you all so much. All right, hearing that there are no, that's the only other presentation that we have. There is no walk-in legislation or requested items. I will now entertain a motion I don't have to entertain a motion. I will now adjourn today's Committee on Council meeting. Thank you all so much. See you shortly.